wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Joey Crack!
Y'all thought y'all wasn't seeing me. Early in the morning, I said, yo, Ev, what's up, Ev?
Joey Crack.
My brother, man. I got y'all. Check this out. What size are you, Ev?
I'm a 10.
That's you, right?
Okay.
Or is it 11 and a half?
That's me.
That's you.
My brother.
Thank you,
Listen,
brother.
my brothers, I don't know what color y'all got.
Woo!
But
Ooh, the
you
blue.
got that
The
ice
ice
blue.
blue.
Go with one of your 76 Lamborghinis. You got that boy.
The ice blue.
Woo! First thing in the morning, baby. Ice
Fresh.
blue, weird in health, guys. I love you guys, man. I had to make sure I put y'all on the top of my list.
These look refreshing.
No.
They look
these-
refreshing.
These are hard.
Like I could drink them or some shit.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you. These black ones, I wore them 20 times. It still ain't creased.
That's crazy.
Now the blue different. You got like the blue might. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't see the blue ones in the store. I seen the black ones in the store. I ain't see the blue ones.
Nah, the blue ones
Look,
is crazy. And you got better.
Sit down for a
more
second, Joe. We gotta
colorways.
talk to Joe for a second. Just for a quick second, Joe. I know you running. You gotta sit down for a second.
I'm over here trying.
I know you
sell a
trying to
sneaker.
work. I know you trying to
I'm trying
work,
to sell
Joe.
a sneaker.
Oh,
I know you trying
crack
to
on
work.
the back.
So,
Yeah,
so
man.
Joe, you got these Air Force Ones that you dropped off.
That's
so,
right.
so tell us about your what you're doing with Nike.
You know what's crazy is the craziest part of the story is, so you see, not comparing myself in no way, shape, or form, but you see how Malcolm X was killed, then they made schools after he died.
Yep.
Martin Luther King, you know, he was killed. Now we got a Martin Luther King Boulevard. Joe Louis, you know, they stressed him to death, and then they made highways after him. Well, the guy who actually designed this sneaker for me got fired for designing the sneaker back in the day at Nike.
No.
Yeah, and 20 years later, we celebrating the Air Force One.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That the guy designed and he got fired. It's just ironic how we celebrate things years later.
You know what's crazy? I remember you on MTV Cribs showing the TS Air Force.
Long time ago.
I thought that was official back
That
then.
was 20 years. It was, but what happened was I had a guy who was the designer of Nike making them for me without permission.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So he gave me a couple of color waves and all that. And so actually Virgil, right, rest in peace, Virgil had asked me to do a Terror Squad Air Force One because he knew all about the culture and all that. And then he passed away maybe 3 days later.
Wow.
But he had already told all of Nike, like, yo, I'm doing the Fat Joe Terror Squad Air Force One. And so that like opened the door to the discussion where they were like, yo, if Virgil was gonna rock with Joe, let's do it. And so, you know, I'm out here, I'm in them streets, you know, I'm the mailman. I'm not Karl Malone, but I'm doing that special delivery all over.
And you got 2 colorways, right? And they both in
No,
stores.
3. We got this is gonna be the New York release. The black and white is globally. So you get it Philippines, Middle East, Africa, everywhere. And then we got a friends and family, which is a baby pink and gray, which you guys are on the list for that as well. But I'm just trying to beat everybody to the, you know, I don't feel right if I got something coming out and I ain't on my ones and twos promoting. I gotta be, you know, back in the days we used to pull up on Envy with the white label in the club.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing. It's the same hustle. It's just we selling a different product.
What do you think about the sneaker culture now? Of course, you own a couple of sneaker stores, but it's a lot different. You know, back then it was you bought sneakers to get fly. Now you got to kind of be careful because people are buying sneakers to make money. They're taking it from the kids that just want to wear them and charging triple and quadruple for the sneakers.
You
So
know,
what are your thoughts on the game?
Nike won't like my answer, but I'm all about the entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? If them kids stand online and they buy a sneaker for $150 and they sell it for $300, that's dumb. They not robbing nobody's mother. They out there hustling. You know what I'm saying? So they don't like my response. You know, I reposted a couple of cats that already had the sneakers. They were like, Joe, those are infamous resellers. Take it down. You know, I'm with the hype.
Right,
you know
right,
what
right.
I'm saying? It's like, I'm with the hype. It's like if I put out a record and the DJ in Memphis or A-Bay is playing it and I'm reposting. I'm like, you know, I don't know. I'm just reposting the hype. They got the sneakers to their ear. It's fly. You know, with me, I'm all about the entrepreneur. You know, somebody making a couple of dollars who ain't doing no harm to nobody. You know what I'm saying? But that's an independent, you know, response, not a reflection of Nike. They definitely ain't with that.
We were just talking before you walked in how you are clearly probably the best storyteller, not even just in hip hop, just one of the best storytellers, period. Because we were listening to you on Rap Radar when you was telling the story about being in your mom's house. And it's just the attention to detail.
Everything.
You say, I was in my mother's house, thinking about retirement, shirt off,
Topless.
I'm topless. You know, my mom's house was still a baby. Like, so, no, real talk. Like, my mom's house is the only place I take my shirt off, everything. I'm in boxes. My feet is on my mom. She rubbing my feet. I'm home. You know what I'm saying? I'm just home. I don't know how to explain it any other way. And so, and Eminem called and was like, yo, bro, you can't retire. You know, you can't, you know what I'm saying? And that's like big for me. You know what I'm saying? I look up to Eminem. You know, he's one of the rap gods to me. So, you know, with him calling me, trying to come in, I really gave this thought. Like he said, I really started listening to all your music, and he's like, nah, Joe, you still got it. Like, you can't leave. Like, it was almost like a don't leave. Like, don't leave us. Like, we still in the game. Like,
what albums came out after that?
Nah, that was right around the time I had dropped the joint with Dre.
Gotcha.
The album with Dre from Cool and Dre. And so he was like, yo, bro, you can't leave the game, you know. You got some legends up there. Fat
You up
Joe's
there?
Up there.
Yeah, of course,
Joey Crack's up there.
Nah, I'm in that corner.
Joey Crack is up there on that wall. These are all Breakfast Club moments, moments of the Breakfast Club. So these are all things that happen on the Breakfast Club, the same outfits, the same facial expressions and everything.
That's
I
a real
like to
official
think-
corner, though.
let
Look
me
who in that
explain.
corner. It's you,
DMX.
Big Daddy Kane, DMX, Charlie Murphy, Nori, Jennifer Lewis,
Issa
Issa
Rae.
Rae, Will Smith,
Let me
Martin.
tell you something. I happen to think that I have some legendary, not shock value, not Birdman respect on my name, not them.
Right.
But I think I've come up in here. We've had some legendary
Conversations.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some behind the scenes, some on the mic.
Some on the mic,
100%.
some behind the scenes, but just on the mic. I'll tell you that story about when I told a guy he need 99 more guys in jail. That was a legendary story, guys.
People got to read your book. If you think Fat Joe's a
Absolutely.
great storyteller, read his book, The Book of Jose.
The Book of
The Book of Jose.
Yeah.
Criminally underrated.
Very much so.
Criminally.
Like it's you read it and you're like, this couldn't have happened. But then you're like,
No,
this
no,
is
it's a
Joe.
fact. No.
So it probably did happen.
You know what happened? First of all, I don't lie. That's just men shouldn't lie unless you're a lawyer. Because one time I was in the room and they was just lying to each other. I wanted to die. I tried to get out of there. It was negotiating. Oh, you're right. I lied. Okay, yeah. Like we paying these guys to lie to each other, right? And so, thank you, my brother. It's you know, I don't lie. So I never want to have somebody catch me in the lie and be like, yo, this guy's lying. So if I say something, I know that eventually somebody will back it up.
Absolutely.
Somebody will come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? The recent one on Rap Radar, I said, but with no disrespect, because, you know, I love Drake, the Sixth God. You know, the most consistent rapper ever in the history. Ever. But I told he had called me like 3 times trying to get on All the Way Up remix, right? But being the whole story I had with Jay-Z, I wanted it to just be me and Jay-Z because, you know, I never thought in a hip-hop fan, I never thought Fat Joe and Jay-Z would do a song. Be myself, right? So I was like, yo, no thanks, but, you know, I love you, brother. Maybe some other time. Please call me now, Drake. And so it's like, you know, but then I'll say it, some normal person to be like, yo, he sound crazy, this and this and that. But I'm sure sooner or later, Drake's going to confirm the story.
Absolutely.
Right.
And be like, yo, you know, I called him, you know,
Yeah.
I wanted, and that's it. All the stories are confirmed. But in the book, man, that's why I had to write the book, because the book was so much transparency. I didn't want to leave nothing out.
The stories before rap are the
I wanted
best.
people to really understand. There's a lot of rap stories never told for Fat Joe. That's a whole different type. You know, but the stories before rap, like when the Ecuadorian kid was
Oh my
trying to kill
God.
me
He said
8 times in 2 days, like he was letting it go. Like
unbelievable.
he was unbelievable. He was like the guy. He was like the guy.
John Wick.
From Mark for Death. One of the guys. The guy from Mark for Death. That Richie. Remember Richie kept popping up. Steven Seagal. Like this guy was trying to finish me for no reason.
You say you shot the car up and you was in the car and everybody thought
Everybody,
y'all was dead.
Joey! I heard the screams like if I was dead. The whole building, Joey! And then we like, yo, what's up? And you know, we tried to get him. We couldn't get him. Like this guy, he was really something else, man.
But don't tell too many because you want people to go out.
No, you gotta go get the book.
You gotta go get the book.
But we're doing the series with the Terrero brothers, Yuli, Jesse, and Kenya. Kenya Barris is actually writing the series himself. So that's an honor, you know what I'm saying? So we excited about it, but we got this little strike or whatever the case may be. So I'm hoping, and I do, trust me, I do sympathize with everybody striking because, some of these checks come through for $2. Like, I'd be like, Joe, the time you hosted Wendy Williams, $2.43. I'm like, yo, I would be homeless trying to live on a royalty check. A royalty check from TV or movies. Like, no, it's incredible. It'd be like, yo, SAG, and I go rush, I open the check, $8.19. I say, yo, bro, I can't buy a sandwich with this thing right here.
Did that affect your talk show? I know you had the talk show with Stars.
Yeah, but not really. We still we all in. Okay. We shot the first one. It's all go. But yes, the strike affects. It's affecting everything. Oh, yeah. You got my girl over there, Bianca. Beyond everybody, listen, Stars is going to be amazing. It's going to be A-list. It's going to be the interviews you never thought you could get, on top of the game. And the thing with me is, coming from like artist to artist, they could let their guard down and know I ain't trying to jam them up. You know what I'm saying? So they could be like, we could talk about, I always say, when we was doing COVID, I started turning on the IG. You both was my guests. So I interviewed Bobby Brown. Now, there's so much stuff you could talk about Bobby Brown, but all I kept it was music, this and this and that. And so when the artist see, he ain't trying to jam me up, he threw me a gem. He was like, yo, I taught Michael Jackson how to moonwalk. I went and slammed the phone against the wall. Like, I never heard. He said he taught Michael Jackson how to moon. That was, you ever had an interview where somebody says something, you just want to end it right there? Yeah. You're like, it's over. Like, we got it. Like,
I thought Mike got that from the Bronx. I thought it was breakdancers in the Bronx. I thought it was...
No. And so what happened is I called all members of New Edition, and they all didn't comment on it. They was like, yo, no comment, man. Get me off the phone. Everybody was like, yeah. So I kind of heard that it was the guy from Charlamagne who taught Michael how to moonwalk.
That's what they said, yeah.
Yeah, they said the guy from Charlamagne taught him. But when Bobby Brown told me that, I was like, oh, my God. Like, you taught Michael how to moonwalk.
It's still a story.
Yeah, definitely a story.
I know, he means it, though. Bobby Brown was the man. Absolutely. So you got to understand, right? So Little Uzi, right? Little Uzi's my man. I love him. Little Uzi, the little dance he do.
Yep.
It's another young kid from Philly that taught him to dance. There's a young kid from Philly that raps that taught him to dance. But Uzi's such a star, he made it more famous.
Right.
It's almost like Lumi D was going, and then Beyonce came and said, and took that to the, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So who did Fat Joe learn Lean Back from then?
Well, I learned Lean Back from, I studied Missy, how she did songs around that time, and really the whole reggae movement. But it was like, single to play. Rockaway.
Oh, yeah.
They was rocking with all that, right? The Elephant Man and all of them. And so I was like, yo, I got to do like the Jamaicans, man. They making these songs that everybody's doing to dance to. So that was really the influence of Lean Back, all in a gumbo.
I got to ask, so, of course, we're still celebrating 50 years of hip-hop. Just because it was the day doesn't mean we stopped celebrating. But you got a chance to perform at Yankee Stadium. Talk about Joey Crack back in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium.
Man, it was just legendary. I grew up 5 minutes from Yankee Stadium. So I drove there from the projects. So I went to my old apartment, got dressed, jumped in the drop, drove to past everybody to KAR, Miami, Trap, all the guys, Pistol, drove in the stadium, and then the next time the camera sees me, I'm walking on stage, live and direct. I had Crazy Legs and Gravity, who's my cousin. They both break dancers, so they came out there. The biggest Puerto Rican flag you ever seen in your life. Like, they was out there. Like, then they got super busy. So I'm walking on stage. I start letting it go, a little my lifestyle. I let go to New York, 100 Guns, 100 Guns. I was possessed, bro. I was possessed. I was in that back room. I wasn't even talking to nobody. I had like 5 security. I don't have security now. I just don't have security, right? But I had 5, like, so nobody could bother me, right? And I had to sneak in the stadium because they had like 450 guys talking
from the
about
Bronx.
they from the Bronx. They were Joe. I mean, I guess I went to junior high with all. I didn't even know who. The phone was going off too much, so I couldn't answer the phone. But it was so special to me because I knew it was the 50th anniversary. You had Run DMC. You had all the legends, Hollywood, whoever you could name. You had Ice Cube, Snoop, this, Nas, this. It was just so. It's not competition, but it's friendly competition. And so I didn't want to, Snoop Dogg ain't letting me go to L.A. and steal that thing. You know what I mean? So I'm in the Bronx, so I knew, I got to put it down for the Bronx. So Rocksteady, the Rocksteady crew, Remy came out with me. Tone Sunshine was with me. Then we brought out Ashanti, looking beautiful as ever. She ripped that down crazy. Then we went into Peter Guns with the Bronx National.
New York to the home. We got love for all. Yep.
And then in the middle of the if it wasn't for the Bronx, then it goes and then the big bully comes out, the teacher, my idol, KRS-One, starts doing the South Bronx. Then he does the bridge. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. What's crazy is I had just kissed Roxanne Shante on the way to the stage. I was just talking to Craig G. MC Shan was probably the one guy who got in my room. I was talking to him for like an hour. So it was just a celebration of hip hop.
Right.
And it was nothing like it. I pull up, young dudes and girls, they had their own little speaker. It was almost like when you watch one of the movies like Malcolm X, with the movie Malcolm X, Spike Lee did, the Al Sharpton's on the box preaching, the other one. That's how it was with hip-hop outside the stadium. They was all freestyling, and then 10 steps, there was bands playing Shook Ones, 10 steps, there was cops break dancing. Like, it was out of this world. And it wasn't just New York. It was like, so I went back and I watched all the interviews they did, like news reporters. And they was like, I'm from Oklahoma. I drove up. I'm from the California guys with the Jerry curls. They was in Yankee Stadium. Not performing. They came. Whoever the guys is they was all around. They was in the Bronx. Like, the whole world of hip-hop came over there to Yankee Stadium. So it was an honor to see some of the legends get acknowledged. Of course, you can't make everybody happy. That's right. It's just too many rappers. You know what I'm saying? But we put it down for rap, legendary.
When you think about Terror Squad, right, and what Terror Squad was in the street, and then you see it on a sneaker, what did that do to you? Do you even
Still
believe
can't
it?
even comprehend. I just work hard. I got up early. My wife was like, yo, what's up? I said, man, we just so blessed. I was just like, I went and shot. I went to my projects, and I love you, Forest Project. I always represent you. But I went to my projects. It's been a while. I went to my old project apartment. I was touching the walls like this. One wall. That's when you little, you think it's big. You got 4 kids, uncles. Every uncle that get thrown out of his house come to your house. We walking on people. It's in the book.
Absolutely.
Like, my father's Cuban. My father went to the Mariel, to Cuba, to go get my brothers and sisters. They gave him 2 sisters, Lourdes and Mercy. They gave him 30 Cubans. All those Cubans came, and the boat sank, because it was a bullshit boat. We ain't had no money. All the Cubans came to my house. When I was going to school, I was stepping on Cubans, like going to school in the morning. Like, and that's how small the crib was. When you go home now and you see these big-ass ceilings and marble and stuff, you can't believe this. So I'm looking at the Terror Squad sneaker. Everything I did prior to rap, and I'm not proud of, was to get sneakers. It's truth, yeah. It was to get sneakers, not to have your own sneaker. I'm telling you the truth. I haven't even allowed. I don't know if it's a form of depression or something. I don't. I haven't. You know how when you got something that you just keep away?
Absolutely.
I haven't allowed myself to really look at the sneaker by myself in the room by myself and be like, yo.
You probably cry.
Yeah, I probably cry. I'm just like, yo, I got a sneaker. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
With Terror Squad.
With TS on
the infamous Terror Squad.
And with no disrespect, it ain't like, it ain't like it's Nike. It's an Air Force
It's an
One.
Air Force One, right.
It's an Uptown.
That's right.
It ain't a collab with a up and coming brand or something like that. It's like, yo, it's the one. You know what I'm saying?
I love to see how far Joe has come as a person. Just how you've come, because all those stories in the book, we've either seen or we've ran from or we've avoided or dodged. So the fact
after I read the book, I wanted to ask him and Rich a million questions, like, how far removed do y'all feel from
Rich told him, yo, we're not gangster no more. We're businessmen. We're not gangster.
But he said there will be no disrespect.
Right.
No, never, ever.
I remember looking out my window and seeing Fat Joe walking up my block, Murdoch Avenue, and me calling Clue like, what did you do? And he was like, what do you mean? I'm like, Fat Joe is walking up the block. He's probably coming to hurt you and kill you. He was like, no, he's just dropping off a record. I'm like, well, I'm staying in the house. I just remember those stories. So to see you in 50 performing in New York together is...
I got one better for you. They made documentaries about my brother Pistol Pete. Pistol Pete K.A.R. And it's documentaries. He's like the predicate from Rikers Island. He started, no disrespect, all that cutting and all that in Rikers Island. And now he's going back mentoring the youth in Rikers Island, telling them to chill, vibing with them, keeping it real with them and telling them, yo, you got to get up out of here. He's even iller than Fat Joe. It's unbelievable when I'm sitting with him. Yesterday we was chilling, and all he was telling me is about how he's talking to the youth, how he's trying to change their lives. Yo, Joe, is crazy. I'm looking at Pistol Pete like this. I'm like, yo, this is out of control.
Was he one of the ones breakdancing with machetes?
No, he was definitely one of those. He said it was the West Side Story. Yo, like this. These guys. He ain't lying, man. But we come a long way.
Absolutely, man.
And we really, really want to help the community. That's pretty much what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, shout out to my stylist and one of my best friends ever, Terrellish. And he told me one day we in Turks and Caicos. And we in the middle of that water's different. And we both drinking. And I said, man, I grew up with some bad guys. And he turned around, he said, they weren't that bad. I said, what you mean? He said, they didn't kill you in the lobby, on the alley, and let you live. Changed my whole life. Then I started thinking about my hood, and I said, damn, they were bad, but they really could have did me bad. You know how many brothers died out there? You know what I'm saying? Girls, too. It was like, they never told on me. Nobody ever told on me out there. They just kept it 100 with me. So that's why we constantly think about them. Every time we can help them, every time we could do something for the community, we always there. Just the other day, me and you was walking around.
Joe like the man in New York.
We want Jay-Z to get the casino in Times Square. It's time that a brother of color, know what I'm saying? We've been gambling. If you go to any casino in America, it's nothing but black and Spanish people in there gambling every day. Finally, we got an opportunity to make the fly, because he told me, yo, we gonna kill Dubai. Like, this casino's gonna be so fly. And so, I walked around the neighborhood to see how they could benefit from the casino and the community that does the plays and all the art actors and all that. They can have a home there in there. So it's a beautiful thing. We just constantly trying to elevate to another level. That's what we're doing. That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what I do. That's what we all do. We feel like we're blessed to live another day. I'm at the point now when it's sunny outside. Like, I wake up and it's sunny. I say, oh my God, I got another one.
Thank God.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Thank God. God is the greatest. And so every day I wake up now, it's like, so you remember when you was young, it's in the book. I used to fight 30, 40 dudes every day. Like, and they was cutting me and I didn't care. I thought I was invincible. I got shot. I checked out the hospital, an hour later, like, take the tubes off thinking I'm bionic. Now I'm like, if it wins to, God forbid somebody sneeze on the plane. I'm ducking. The mask is out, the hoodie's out. I'm like, yo, from a sneeze.
Word.
Nah, I'm not. It's a different time, so we appreciate God, and we just constantly try to give back to the community.
Well, we appreciate you, Joe. We know we stole you for a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
I know
man.
you just came to drop off sneakers. But we needed to holler at Joey Crack for a little bit.
I need the girl to send me the footage of me giving you the sneakers.
We got it. That's the camera. We got it. We're going to get it to you.
I need that.
Have you in
We'll
two
get you
Done.
ASAP.
Real
ASAP.
time?
1, 2,
Done.
3.
Yeah, have it before noon.
Before noon.
Immediately.
Before
Thank
noon.
you, beloved.
Before
Love you
noon.
guys.
Joey Crack.
Go get the book of Jose. Go get the sneakers,
That's
man.
right.
The Terror Squad sneakers.
All right, it's the
Fat
Breakfast
Joe
Club.
for mayor.
Breakfast Club. Good morning.
No politics.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.